Hey everyone, it's Johnny, your independent Scentsy consultant. Welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to be talking about the June 2022 Bring Back My Bar winners. And I'm going to do this video a little bit differently than I have in the past. Previously, what I would do is kind of do a cold sniffs first impression video, and then run to warm them all, and then do a warm sniffs video. This time around, just because it's a little bit later, I got the bars and I was like, oh no, scheduling, making this video. I did both. So we're gonna go through alphabetically each of the 25 winners. Earthquake. No, I just hit my phone. And we are gonna talk about the cold impressions, like when you first smell the bar, and then my thoughts on warming. So disclaimer, I warmed in different rooms, so some of the performance may vary because I didn't have like a controlled like lockbox where they all performed in, but generally speaking, I can get a good gist of how they're gonna perform based on how they do regardless of the warmer or location, because it's pretty across the board in my apartment. The second thing to think about is I only warmed one cube of each, so you'll see in all the bars there's like one cube missing. I did my best to warm the exact same cube, like one of the same sized cubes, because these are a little bit different in sizing on the top here, just to kind of keep some continuity there. And to give you kind of a spectrum of like my testing circumstances, I didn't warm any of the scents necessarily for a full day. I wanted to rotate. I only had a couple days where I could really just sit and take in all the fragrances. So I did alternate like half a day for each sort of set of fragrances that I was doing, but I kind of spaced them so that they could each give their own sort of flow and chance to become the beautiful scent monster or not that they were. So that's kind of just like my little basic disclaimer on this. I would say your mileage may vary in general just because of where you warm, what type of warmers you have, your home layout, etc. But these are my general impressions and thoughts on the different scents. So we have 25 here. Surprisingly, about almost half of them come from the letters B and C, so that kind of leads me to believe, like, just future reference, if you're gonna vote for Bring Back My Bar, scroll to the bottom of the list before you start clicking ones you want back, because everything is like A, B, C, or B, C, D, and then it's like one from every like random other letter, maybe. I also will say that as my general thoughts are before we dive in, there's some that I was really looking forward to smell, some that I was like, really, why are we still voting this back? And you know, take it for what you will. I kind of wish there was a little bit better of a mediating process on Scentsy's end, not just like, have at it, these are the ones we decided you can vote upon, because some of the ones seem to just keep magically showing up again, every other one, and it's like, I thought there was supposed to be like a cool-off period. So, with that being said, let's dive in with our first bar, which is Bamboo Yuzu. Dun 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 dun. So let me give you the description and then we'll smell it. Imagine a Japanese garden as you breathe in dewy bamboo, tranquil lotus flower, and fresh yuzu with hints of sage. So this is a green bar. Kind of matches my room. And this is a very fresh scent, okay? So you do get the bamboo note. You do get yuzu in here. There is a sort of like hint of sage, but it's very light. If you're like a sage, if you're not a sage fanatic, you're not gonna be like overwhelmed by this bar. There's like just maybe a hint of that sort of drier sagey note at the very outskirts of the scent. This is almost more akin to scent something like sea salt and avocado. Obviously replace the appropriate scent notes, but you have that very fresh sort of scent going on. It is dominated by the bamboo. It isn't particularly aquatic. I know it says it's like dewy something in here. Dewy bamboo. I don't necessarily know. I guess dewy is the right descriptor because it's not super aquatic. It's not an aquatic floral like Little Mermaids Under the Sea. Yeah, it's just a nice, fresh, sort of not fully green scent. It's very summery, great for this time of year. And there's like that fruity note from the yuzu, but it's not super super fruity. So I would say this is more of a fresh scent. As far as performance goes, this performs really well. No problem smelling this, carries quite well. I would say medium strong, maybe even just strong. It definitely carries its weight, even with just 1 cube. I had no problems with it, and I'm kind of torn. Like, I don't know if it's necessarily going to go in my club, but I definitely will enjoy warming the rest of it. I mean, I feel like I should, just because bamboo is like a extension of my will-being and whatever in the background. But anyways, long story short, this is a pretty solid bar. So very happy to see that one there. Next, moving on, we are going to Berry of Paradise. Okay, so this one, this light, lovely little pink bar, Scrumptious Sugared Strawberry, Bird of Paradise, and Vanilla Bean. So I don't think of Bird of Paradise, which is a flower, it's like those weird, like, orange-looking things that look like a bird, as particularly aromatic, at least not in my experience. I couldn't tell you what it smells like. And honestly, I don't really get any, floral from this on cold. Just sniffing in here, it's like a cloyingly sweet bakery scent. It's literally like bakery sugar meets like a sweet berry. So if you like things like pink haze, maybe pink cotton minus the cotton note, what is that one that we had that was really obnoxious that kind of reminds me of this? I don't remember. But if you like strawberry scents, and if you like very sweet bakery, like cloyingly sweet, almost candied bakery scents, I think you're going to like this. If you don't like that, steer clear of this. It does perform reasonably well. I would say it's a medium throw. I don't need it. It's like the topping on a sweet cupcake or something, or cookie. You're just like, no, I'm good. Like, where's the dough? Yeah, it's just a very sweet, cloying bakery scent. That's really the best way I can describe it. It's not particularly my favorite. What is the other one that I'm thinking of that this reminded me of? I don't know. It'll either come back to me or not, but basically this is a sweet scent. Not a fan personally, but if you like that sort of bakery category overload, definitely for you. Next, we have Blackberry Orange Marmalade. This is orange marmalade and blackberry jam over sugar crystals. Now, this one is actually, at least for me, it was a scent monster. But before we get to the throw, let's talk about cold. On cold, you definitely get blackberry. You definitely get that orange sort of marmalade note and a sugar note. But it's not a heavy sugar note. It's not sweet. Like, think of if Berry of Paradise is just like confectioner's sugar and like a sweet berry, this is more like there's a sugar note in here that balances the tartness and the citrusy qualities of the marmalade blackberry combo, which could be a little bit tart and overwhelming, and it kind of keeps them on a little bit more of a tinge of sweetness as opposed to just like sour pucker face sort of thing. This is a scent monster for me. 1 cube, like, decided to go to town. And it performed really well. I will say, you know, I'd have to warm through, like, a longer period, I would say. For the time that I warmed it, for the most part, it was very strong and loud. But the blackberry and sort of, like, sweet overtone of this kind of, diminishes before the orange note does, so it goes from being more like blackberry orange marmalade to being kind of like sort of berry orange marmalade the longer it warms. The orange note lingers longer than the blackberry, at least in my preliminary testing. Now, as for whether or not this will be club worthy for me, there's a chance. I mean, it performs really well. I do like the scent profile. I'm not like a huge citrus person, or a huge fruity person. I have my scents that I enjoy in those categories, but I don't tend to go out of my way for them. This one was really nice. And it's a really well balanced scent. So I'm kind of nice to see that. I think, you know, especially if you're looking for a stronger performer, that's one to consider. All right. Next we have Blueberry Pancakes. We're still in the bees. All right, this one is, I mean, I'm sure you could guess what this is going to smell like, or supposedly. Blueberry and butter accord over light maple make the mood. Oh, it's maple in there. That's what it is. So we all know how Johnny feels about artificial butter notes. Well, at least the people who have been around this channel for a little while. Not usually a fan of it. Maple is not one of my favorite scents either. Blueberry, I don't mind. On cold, this does really kind of, at least from the bottom of the bar, it does kind of smell like a blueberry pancake. Like, I don't terribly mind it. Warming, it gives me that burst of blueberry similar to blueberry cheesecake, where you get that sort of headstrong blueberry, sort of semi-tart, punchy note in the forefront, and then there's like that weird buttery, not quite dough. Like, this isn't Stroopwafel Delight. It's not like fresh dough and fresh butter and a hint of cinnamon. This is like whatever butter accord is supposed to be. It's okay for me until the blueberry dies down. It kind of does the same thing for me that blueberry cheesecake does, where it's kind of like there's blueberry for a while, and then the blueberry kind of teeters out, and then you're just left with the undertones. So in like the case of blueberry cheesecake, you get like wet dog cheesecake smell, and with like this one, you kind of get artificial butter and, I don't know, maple smell, which is not exactly like the pinnacle of blueberry pancake to me. So the maple note is not hyper strong, at least not in the beginning. I would say the blueberry is the most predominant note. But again, it doesn't last as long as the other notes, which are probably like mid-base notes. And so then it's kind of like, oh, it just became pancakes. Oh, it just became syrup and butter. Not a fan personally. I would say it's like a medium performer. It didn't like necessarily take over the room by any sort of sense. Which I kind of appreciated, that it wasn't quite a powerhouse, because I don't think I would have been able to stand it. But it is nonetheless a bakery sort of geared scent. There's a lot of bakery in this time around that I was just kind of like, well, that's one that doesn't need to go in my club. All right, moving forward. Let's go to Blonde Wood and Moonflower. This is, where is my note? Where are you? Pale warm wood and amber envelop demure moonflower, delicate white roses, and upturned lilies in a modern magical fragrance. So, you do get a wood, a warm sort of cozy wood note. You do get the amber note, definitely. I don't really get a whole lot of the florals, like specific florals. So white roses to me are a lighter, less in-your-face, pungent pink rose sort of scent that we're all akin to. It's a little bit softer. I do get a fresh sort of floral note, but it's not hyper powdery. You definitely get more of like the warm wood amber, in my opinion, with a balance of that sort of overtone of floral. I wouldn't say that this is one of the strongest scents in our book, but it's definitely a very pretty scent. If you like sort of woodsy floral mashups, I think this is a really nice one. If you like scents that are more cozy, you know, like curl up in a blanket sort of remind you vibes, this is another one to consider for that. I would say it's a medium throw, and I'm okay with that. I think if it was overwhelming, it might be a little bit much. The lily note, usually lilies to me give a little bit of like a powder note to the scent. I don't really get a whole lot of that. And it could be because of the other notes in here kind of rounding and balancing it out a bit better. But overall, it has a hint of sweetness too, I will say that. It's a nice one. I actually really like this scent, and I was hoping at some point it would come back, because this will go into my Scentsy Club. All right. Next, we're on to Buckleberry. Dun, 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 dun. This is a bite of summer's bounty, bursting fresh berries atop a buttery blanket of crumbly coffee cake. Really? Okay. I guess that makes more sense now. Okay, so I was wondering what this scent is. This, to me, is not a summer's bounty of fresh berries or whatever it's supposedly claiming. So to me, this is a winter scent. This is a fall winter scent. It's very fruity bakery. It's like a much more berry-fied version of something like Breakfast in Bed, something where it's like, you know that there's a bakery undertone, but there's a burst of some sort of deep berry. This is a deep red berry. It's a little bit more on the tart side rather than on the sweet side, and it's a heavy scent. Now that I know that it's on top of supposedly buttery coffee cake, I still don't think it's on top of buttery coffee cake. Like, where did that scent note come from? Not whatsoever. If anything, I would say I get like deep fresh berries and like an orange tone. Are we sure that this is even really that this description is supposed to be? Maybe I got the wrong description. Anyways, it's a deep, heavy scent. If you remember the scent like Joy and Wonder, I think it was called, from like our holiday collection, where it was kind of like a weird berried, heavy, sort of like earthy sort of toned thing. This is almost kind of what I get from this. It's that deep, unsweetened, like ocean spray cranberry juice, where it's really like almost borderline tart, and then I get a citrus note, like an orange, almost like the orange marmalade from Blackberry Orange Marmalade. I kind of pick up on that more than I would. I'm telling you, I don't smell coffee cake or butter. No, this cannot be right. I have to look this up again. This can't be the definition. Like, there's no way there's coffee cake. Nope, that is what it's called. A bite of summer bursting fresh berries. Yeah, no, that is what it is. I don't know where they're getting that. They're probably out of their darn minds, but I don't smell it. And I know what coffee cake smells like. Lord knows. My grandmother used to make the best coffee cake I've ever had. Grandmothers make like the best baked goods, side note. Anyways, this is a medium performer. It is heavy. Again, I think this is not a summer's scent. I think that this is a fall, winter, cold outside, fall leaves are changing, gray, cloudy day, heavy sort of scent. I don't know where they're getting the summer's bounty from, but I am going to vote that out of the description. Moving on. Let's go into the category C, starting with Caramel Vanilla Delight. All right, so something that has caramel in the name. We already know where this is going. Vanilla ice cream, liquid caramel, and a splash of white rum. So, Johnny doesn't usually like caramel scents, okay? I'm talking third person, what's going to happen. I don't actually mind this one. I think it's because it's not just vanilla, it's vanilla ice cream. And it's like that, if you had vanilla ice cream with like a caramel drizzle that kind of melts in. And I didn't know that there was a rum note in this. At least not when I was warming it, but that kind of makes sense as to why I like it more. Yeah, it's you get that sort of creamy richness from the vanilla ice cream note. It's not just a bakery vanilla or a floral vanilla or something like that. There is a richness. But this is actually kind of a mellow scent. It's not a scent monster, at least not for me. It was more of like a medium, almost medium soft scent. Like, it will fill in the space, but it won't overwhelm the space. And I was actually pleasantly surprised because, again, I'm not a big caramel person in general, and this is a type of caramel that I don't mind because of the combination. It's kind of muted, and you get it, but it just kind of gives that sort of rich, like almost the buttery kind of quality that I would like, more of like a toffee rather than like straight up just caramel. I enjoy this. It may go in my club. I was pleasantly surprised. I'm not sure yet. As far as the rum note, though, on it, I don't know if I would say that I picked up a rum note. But hey, that's like a bonus point. If I find it next time when I warm the rest of the bar, I'll let you know. All right, moving on, we have Coconut Vanilla Orchid. And I was actually kind of excited about this one. Alluring orange zest, coconut milk, and silky vanilla orchid. So, on cold, let's talk about this. You do get orange zest. You do get coconutty, I would say coconut milk, yeah. And then they say silky vanilla orchid. And then I get like this weird perfumey, kind of powdery floral. And I'm kind of like thinking about this like, without the orange zest, I might have been a little bit more receptive to the scent. But with it, it just kind of throws the whole thing like for a loop. Because you get like that sort of powdery, perfumey, like not quite feminine, but a softer sort of fragrance. It could even be a little soapy, like bathroom soap sort of thing, fancy note. And then you get orange zest in there. It's like okay, why do we need this? I don't know. When I performed it, when I warmed it, it performed quite well, like medium, maybe not medium strong exactly, but it was definitely like distinctively there. But I couldn't get past like that sort of like soap sort of soapy perfumey combination scent. There's just something about it that threw me off. And then you get that like burst of orange and you're just like, why is this in here? Which is interesting because usually things with coconut milk or orchids, I am like, yes, give me more. And this one was like, no, I'm good. One bar I'll do me. So wasn't particularly impressed with it. Which is, it happens. Not every combination am I gonna love, but that's okay. Next we have Cotton Candy Cookie. Lord only knows why. This keeps coming back. It's a trip for the county fair, to the county fair. Little hands clutching cotton candy and cookies while gooey treats topped with sugared raspberries beg to be tasted. This scent... Okay, this is sweet bakery cloying. Let's just get you there. You get the cotton candy note. You get the cookies note, buttered cookies, whatever it is, sugar cookies note. And you get sort of like a weird slight raspberry, or I'll just call it berry sweetness. I'm not a fan of this. I like some of our cookie scents, like sugar cookie. I like that one. I like some of our cotton candy scents. Not this one. What is it? Sugar. Sugar is kind of more up my vein of alley. There's a couple other ones. Candy Craze or whatever it was called. That one, Candy Crave. That one, love it. This, there is something just so weirdly off-putting. I don't know if it's like the buttery note in the cookie or like the berries thing that's happening in here, or the combination of like that spun cotton candy sugar mixed with like buttery cookies just not doing it for me. You'd think like, oh great, this is gonna be a great combo. And to me, I feel like those two together aren't very congruent, at least not in this combo. So, I'm sure a lot of people like this because it was voted back. It's been like an Easter collection when I was here. It's been randomly elsewhere. It's like that haunting sort of scent that, I don't hate, but I'm just like, I really don't need this in my life anymore. But that's what this is. As far as performance, it's a medium scent. It's not super strong. It's not going to knock your socks off, but it is there. Maybe even medium soft, I would say. All right. And then we have Cutie Pie Cupcake, which has also returned again, shockingly. Okay, so let's talk about what this one is. I'll give you the scent description. I think I remember reviewing this once upon a daydream, because I think this was in another Bring Back My Bar. Yep, yeah, it was. Sweet clementine and yellow cake batter with vanilla and sugary icing. I mean, that's what it is. There is a clementine note to this, but this is basically to me like a yellow lemon cupcake. I know it says clementine, but I almost get more like lemon iced cupcake from this. But it's yummy. I would eat it if it was a food. I just don't necessarily think I need my apartment to smell like this. Now, in terms of performance, it does perform well. Medium strong. Definitely, you can smell it. It does mellow out. The clementine note just like gives way to more of like a cupcakey note later on in the warming. Again, I don't mind it. I don't love it. Like, it's not club worthy for me, but I'm not a bakery person. You know, if I want my house to smell like baked goods, I'll just bake something. Shocking, I know, because then I can eat it and enjoy the scent lingering. So, that is Cutie Pie Cupcake. Now we get to move on out of the C's and into E. The one E is Enchanted Mist. And I was intrigued by this one. So this is a romantic blend of juicy apples enhanced and sweetened by rose petals and rich jasmine. So I love apples. I love jasmine. Rose petals, we'll see. So let's warm this. Let's smell this. So I get the juicy apple note. I actually thought it was more of like a lemon note originally, because my nose was kind of like playing tricks on me. But yes, it is very much an apple note. More of a green apple than a red apple. But it's a sweet green. It's not a tart, crisp green apple. It's a sweet apple. I do get florals. I don't know that I necessarily pick out jasmine or rose. I feel like between the two, I get a little bit more of the jasmine than I do the rose. So I get apples for sure. Very like juicy, green, sweet apples. A little bit of like a jasmine hint in there. And then just like floral. Is this white rose petal? It just says petals. Yeah, it's a nice scent. It's a sort of fresh floral scent. I don't know. I'm undecided on this one. Like, part of me enjoys it. Like, enjoyed when it was warming. It was kind of like a fresh, uplifting, more than I would say necessarily a floral scent. It's like that fresh, zesty, fruity scent more than it was like overwhelming florals. But I think that's mainly because the apple note in there is very like juicy, dewy, aquatic, sort of like really juicy apples. More than the florals causing that. It was a medium soft performer. I wouldn't say that this was particularly loud or strong or whatever. But it was an enjoyable scent. So, you know, I think this is a nice one if you want something a little bit less on the normal sort of fruity or fresh or floral sort of category. It's kind of like an interesting, different one. That was a terrible description. Okay, moving on. F for Flower Child. Sweet red berries layered over wild gardenia and sandalwood. Well, we know how much I love lush gardenia. But I do like sandalwood and I do like berries. So, let's talk about this scent. I actually really enjoyed this scent, surprisingly. Didn't think I was going to. But there are some buts that come with this. Okay, this is a soft scent, which you'd be shocked if you heard me say that, because gardenia is usually a strong, like, think of lush gardenia. It will just eat your house down. Sandalwood is kind of mellow. Sweet berries can be generally a little bit more bursty in fragrance. I don't really get a whole lot of berry note in this. I do get sort of a sweetness from that. But it's more of like, if you remember the scent With Grace from the Glam collection, it's more akin to that. Like, you get that softer, like, fresh gardenia. It's more dewy. I don't know. I guess there is a little bit of sandalwood, but it's not overwhelmingly sandalwood. Like, it's definitely like that soft sort of floral with a hint of, like, that fruitiness in there. I mean, to be fair, a lot of scents in this Bring Back My Bar are along the same vein of, like, fruity and floral with woods and floral. Like, there's a lot of that in there this time around. So I would say out of the ones that I've smelled so far, this definitely, is more of a preferred one, but it's a lighter one. In fact, it's probably one of the lighter ones in the whole set of the 25. It's not impossibly light, but I would call this probably a soft scent, unless you have it in a bathroom where it can actually kind of like fill in the space more. But it is pretty, and it might be going in my club. Not sure. All right, next we have Forever Yours, Sweet Creamy Lemon, and Enchanting Jasmine, a Rhapsody of Devotion. Well, I love jasmine, and I usually enjoy lemon. And this is a sweet and creamy lemon. It's kind of like the lemon I wanted, oh my goodness, what is it called? Squeeze the Day to be. You know, it's not quite as just lemon sweetness, like lemon and sugar, like lemon sorbet, like it has more of a creamy consistency to it, but not that weird vanilla sponge sugar nonsense going on in Squeeze the Day. It's almost like a sweet, I don't want to call it like a custard, but it's like that sweet, lemony, like soft serve almost sort of quality to this. And then you get the jasmine note. And I enjoy this. This is actually quite a strong scent. I would say medium strong to strong. I warmed it in my bathroom and it was like, hello, fragrance forever. Womp, womp, womp. That's what the name is, Forever Yours. No, but it does perform really well. It is pretty much just that jasmine and that sort of sweet, creamy, sort of lemony scent. And I really like it. I think that there is some complexity to it to build the scent overall. But the main two notes, that's just like, you get that scent. And I'm actually really happy with that. So, if you like lemon scents, consider it. If you like jasmine scents, consider trying it. I don't know if jasmine is the predominant note, but it's an interesting blend. All right, next we have French toast. Oui, French toast. A perfect light slice of bread, dunked in golden egg batter, dusted with powdered sugar, and finished with a swirl of sweet maple syrup. I like how they start it with a perfect. Like, no. Ugh. This is... Let me put it this way. I've had a couple customers smell this bar after, like, I got them. Not one of them, not even the one who likes bakery, was interested in this bar. This is like a baking project gone wrong. Like, you overburnt the French toast, or you burnt the toast in the toaster oven and decided, oh, well, I'll fix it by putting it in the frying pan with egg wash. And then douse it in a bunch of, like, heavy spices. This, you know what? There is a scent. Oh my gosh. I know exactly which one this is. It's like happened a couple times. I've gotten a scent from Better Homes and Gardens or Sensationals that smells just like this. And both times it's so vitrolic, I have to just remove it from my warmers because I get a really bad reaction. Like, just smells like vomit to me. Yeah, that's what this is. Artificial butter vomit. Let's talk about what they claim is in here. A perfect light slice of bread. It's not light. It is like more of a medium performer. It's not like strong, but it's definitely not light. Slice of bread. You do get an eggy note. It adds to the artificial pungency. So if you were thinking of like, oh, the holiday eggnog scent that was really good, this isn't it. Don't, like, steer clear. Steer very clear of this. Dusted with powdered sugar. I get like that weird, like powder, like, how do you describe it? Like that musky sort of note kind of sugar. That's like powdered sugar. This isn't like sweet confectioner sugar. And finished with a sweet swirl of sweet maple syrup. Well, there's a lot of maple in this, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, if you're like a maple lover, you might actually enjoy this, but you might not. This is a trip, and this is a scent that I definitely have. There's a dupe or two or three of this in like Sensationals, Better Homes and Gardens, and not one of them did I enjoy. And I didn't enjoy the scent. Now, does this smell like French toast is the bigger question for those of you who like bakery scents. I don't get it. I don't see it. Like, maybe when it's warming, just for like interim passing along the way, maybe there's a waft that's reminiscent of French toast. But this is a crime against nostrils. That's what we'll call that scent. Yeah, so can't recommend that one, even if you're a bakery fanatic. I think the idea is there, the execution, just, they need to, no. All right, next we have Inner Peace. Moving on, we need some Inner Peace after that scent. Earthy wood notes with an unmistakable scent of lemon groves and rejuvenating cypress. You definitely get lemon, I'll say that much. This is This smells like lemon carpet cleaner. You know, like the, it's not really pine salt, but it's like, you know, when you get like usually like the pet odor control carpet shampoo, or like sprinkle on your carpet stuff or carpet wash, and it has that sort of like lemony scent, but then there's like that sort of soapy like ozone sort of kind of scent involved, like kind of like Ozium or like Febreze almost, but mixed with lemon. That's what I get from this. It's very soapy, kind of a little bit powdery. It definitely reminds me of cleaning products. I don't think I will find inner peace with it, but on that note, however, it is incredibly strong and powerful, and definitely will overwhelm if you do it. Like, I had a cube going, and I was like, wow, that's only a cube? Holy bananas if I had put more than that. So this is definitely a scent monster. But think about if you want your house to smell like fresh cleaning products, like this would be great on cleaning day. Like, you clean your house and you want the smell of the you know, the whatever chemical scented shenanigans that they put in there to make it not just smell like ammonia and gross. Yeah, you just put a couple of these in there on cleaning day. You'll be fine. As for finding your inner peace with this, I don't know. This might cause you more anxiety and stress than peace, but who knows? You may have a different opinion. Next, we have, we got down to L's. All right, here we go. We're actually making good time on this video. All right. Lemon Coconut Chiffon. Melt in your mouth lemon custard layered with butter cake and sprinkled with toasted coconut. Okay, so you do get lemon. You do get that sort of toasted coconut, like those little like shavings that you could get in the store. And what's the other thing that's supposed to be in here? Butter cake. Yeah, there is a caking note to this. So here's my thing. It is a little bit more on the like dry, flowery side. Like, when I think of butter cake, I think of like rich, moist, buttery, melt in your mouth cake. That sort of like salivating note. This is like the driest Sahara lemon coconut chiffon. This might as well be a scone cake. You know, honestly, that's kind of what I get out of this. It is a dry flower, like Flour sort of scent. You definitely lemon, unmistakable. You definitely get coconut. But yeah, I don't get butter cake out of this. I get scone. Like, this is like lemon coconut scone to me. In fact, I think I've had a lemon coconut scone. That's probably why it reminds me of scones. But it's dry. It even when warming, you get like that sort of dryness, like that flour sort of dryness in there that is unmistakable. And I feel like for me, this is obviously a bakery scent, hence the scent notes. But I just, if I want lemon scents, I want something a little bit more fresh or dewy or uplifting, and I feel like this just kind of misses the mark for me. Like, if I had to pick between this and Cutie Pie Cupcake, I almost feel like Cutie Pie Cupcake does a better job at being lemon, even though it's a clementine cupcake, basically, than this does, in providing really the lemony burst that I'm looking for, like, with a cake note. This is more like lemon, dry flour, and some coconut shavings. But it's strong. This is a scent monster. It's strong. You will not have any problem, you know, smelling it, and it will not just disappear on you. So there is that. Enough talking about that one. Love and Happiness. Don't we all need that? I feel like as this video gets on, I get more sarcastic. That's hilarious. Love and Happiness is glazed chestnut. Oh, vanilla and sugarcane define temptation. That's what that note is. Okay. Yep, that makes more sense. So this is a sweet scent. This is a scent Johnny doesn't like. I actually get more of like a fruity note to this, like a weird, it might be the glazing, like a sweetness, but this kind of gives me like almost a berry kind of note more than it does what it claims to have. Lemon or chestnut, vanilla, and sugarcane. It is sweet. I would almost call this fruity bakery. I do get a little bit of the vanilla. I can only assume that like that random scent that I'm smelling is glazed chestnut. So maybe it's the glazing that's extra sweet and the chestnut's giving that like strange little like punchy pungence. But I didn't like this scent. Assuming that that is the definition of this scent. See, again, I don't feel like that lines up to this at all whatsoever. But I wasn't a fan of the scent. It's fairly strong. It's like a medium strong sort of scent. But it has like a weird sort of pungency to it that I'm just not really enjoying. Like, it was just strange. Like, I don't understand. And it got, in my opinion at least, it got, I think, worse the more I warmed it than when it was like on the first onset of it. So again, I don't know. This scent has like a weird pungent tart. I get berry sort of note from this, even though it's not in the description. Yeah, just not for me. That's all it is. Okay. Oops, just wrong. Just kidding. We have to go in order, Johnny. This is alphabetical. Love You Very Much is next. Haha, you saw nothing. All right. All right, so here we have a fragrance to crush on. Bursting red berries, dreamy white peach, and tart cranberry finish with a splash of vanilla. Okay, so this is a berry scent. This is very much a fruity berry scent. But it is a tart. Like, sweet, punchy tart. You do get, what is that? The cranberries? Yes, it's definitely a tart cranberry. You do get sweet berries. That peach note, that's what's throwing it off for me. That's what it is. I knew there's something in here. Vanilla, maybe a hint of vanilla, but honestly, it's mostly berries, cranberries, and a little bit of that peach. Now that I know there's a peach in there too, I can like pinpoint it right away. Yeah, it's berries and peach and tart cranberries. This is a tart scent. This is not a sweet berry scent. So it's not cloying. It's not bakery. It's definitely like a tart, punchy, slightly pungent sort of berry scent, which is kind of nice because we've had a lot of sweet sort of scents in this collection. Not a huge fan of it personally, but if you like that sort of tart, sort of pungent berry scent, you might enjoy this. Now, that's not to say I don't like tart berries. I just prefer eating them, I think, than having my house smell like them. But it is a very berry scent. So if you like fruity scents, that is something that you might want to consider. Ooh, excuse me. Next, we have M, My Only Sunshine. Is it sunny yet still? A little bit. All right. Start your day with a smile as you experience golden tuberose and jasmine balanced by sandalwood, vanilla, and glowing amber. Yep. Yeah, so I like this scent. I think it's very nice. You do get that sort of floral meets a little bit of woodsy amber. It reminds me of Warm Spring Sunshine from Better Homes and Gardens, but softer. Because of the tuberose in there instead of more of like this almost citrus note of the other one. This is a really pretty scent. I think my biggest critique with this is it's a soft scent. Like, I love the scent notes. I like the sandalwood. I love the amber sort of complex underneath. I love the florals on top, but it's very soft. So if you're looking for a scent monster, this isn't it. It's just a very nice, soft, pretty scent. Although, I may throw it in my club if it's not already there. I think it was in our catalog for like spring for a while, and then it was discontinued, but it never came back. But it is a nice, soft, sort of floral, cozy scent. Next, we have Pineapple Coconut Vanilla. This is actually in our body care, I think, right now still. So, I can't find the description. You were born to run free, that is. Ride the wind along coconut, pineapple blush, and blue fig. So, I love this scent. I love it in our hand soap. I love it in our body care products. And I was kind of bummed that we didn't have it in bar form in our catalog when I first became a consultant. And I have been patiently or impatiently waiting for this to be in bar form because I love it and I want to have it in my club, and now it will be in there. You do get the coconut note, you do get the pineapple note. It's very balanced in that sense. And then you kind of get it mellowed out by the blue fig. So if you don't like fig scents, you may not like this one because you do get the fig note, I think even more predominantly in the wax than you do in like our body care, where it's more of just like that soft vanilla coconut with a hint of like fresh pineapple on the sort of side end. You do get a little bit more of the fig in here. That isn't to say it's like overwhelmingly fig and you get none of the coconut or the pineapple or whatever, the vanilla notes. You do get those still. It just adds another layer of kind of like earthy greenness to this that I enjoy. And it performs quite well. It's like a medium performer, solid medium. I wouldn't say medium strong. I don't think I'd say medium soft either. It's definitely like right around the middle, kind of where I'd want it to be. But it does last quite well, so there is that. Pretty happy with that one. That's going to be in my club, and that's all she wrote on that one. Next, we have Root Beer Float. Bum-ba-da-dum. A concoction of old-fashioned root beer and creamy vanilla ice cream. So on cold, this smells like a root beer float. It's crazy. You get like the effervescent root beer note, and you get like a little bit of a creamy vanilla note in the background, like the ice creamy sort of ready to, you know, mesh in with the soda fizziness. It brings me back to like going to A&W with my family when I was little and like getting, you know, like the Coney chili dog and, you know, cheese curds and, you know, then a root beer float, like the token A&W thing. And then you warm this and the fizziness kind of disappears. The creaminess of the vanilla disappears and you just kind of get root beer syrup, honestly. And it's kind of like flat root beer syrup. So this is kind of like I had high expectations for this. Like I was thinking like we're all mad here, but root beer, I was thinking like cherry limeade. Oh man, this is going to be a zinger in my face. And I got root beer syrup. And it kind of gives you, as it like mellows out over the course of its warming, it kind of becomes a little bit more like a Tootsie Roll than it does a root beer float. So, a little bit disappointed, to say the least. I will continue to warm this. Obviously, I will finish warming all of these bars, except for maybe the last one or one of the ones coming up later. But it was enjoyable, like the novelty of it, but I feel like the execution didn't quite get there. It kind of fell flat, you could say, or it fizzled. Oh God, just stop me now. But it is a root beer-esque sort of scent. Just be prepared to know that it's not going to be quite as effervescent as cherry limeade was, for example. All right, next we have Simply Irresistible, or so they claim. Lavender with a strong woody background of amber, moss, and musk. So this is a sort of cologne-y scent. I like it. It kind of gives me a nod to, what was the other scent we had for Father's Day? Perfect Gentleman. Different scent notes, but very similar in sort of profile. This could also be kind of described as, if you remember, Route 66, I think I used to talk about how like that was like the spring summer version of like Rustic Lodge. This is kind of like the cologne version of Route 66. So it's similar in that sort of zesty freshness, clean sort of tones. But it's also, it's like in between Route 66 and Perfect Gentleman. And it's not a bad scent by any means, but it is underwhelming, I guess is the best word to describe it. Like, I had high hopes for this one, and I was just a little bit disappointed. Like, I always love a really good cologne scent when we can find it. But when we can't find it, then it's kind of like, oh, what happened there? Do I like this more than Perfect Gentleman? It's hard to say because I haven't worn Perfect Gentleman in a while, but from what I remember, I do kind of like this one a little bit more than Perfect Gentleman. It could be the scent notes, but I would say they're fairly similar. This was a softer scent for me, medium soft maybe. I wouldn't say that this is a scent monster. Maybe it went up to medium. I wouldn't say that this is a super strong scent. Like, this is no blackberry orange marmalade. This is not a lemon coconut chiffon. This is definitely a solid medium at best. But it does linger, and it's kind of nice. So if you have like that sillage effect with wearing cologne or perfume, it's a similar sort of like feel. All right, moving on. We got 3 more. 2 that I enjoyed and 1 that shall never be named. All right, so next up is Summer Rain. This is dew sprinkled cyclamen, fresh botanicals, and a pinch of black lava salt capture the earthy sweet scent of a passing summer storm. This one was available when I first joined, and then it discontinued or retired and didn't come back. I adore this scent. This is... There are so many like rainfall, rain scents out there, rainy day, whatever. None of them so far that I have smelled, other than this one, actually smell like what a rain in the summer smells like. You know, like once it's been raining and the dew and like the humidity is down, you come outside in Midwest summer in the backyard, things are still wet, dripping the raindrops, residual puddles on the ground, and the florals are kind of all like recharged and perked up. That's what this paints. That's what this evokes for me. And it's spot on. And it's a beautiful performer. It's medium strong. And on cold, you might not think that because you put it on cold and you're like, oh, I like it, but it's okay. There's like a strange little, like a little bit of a pungency to it, like maybe the cyclamen. And then you warm it, and that's where the magic really happens with this scent. So I've had this in my club. It's not left my club. I may add an extra bar of it to my club. I love this scent. If you've not tried this, I strongly recommend you try this. If you like florals, if you like fresh scents, if you just like clean scents that aren't just specifically laundry, this may be one that you really enjoy. And I don't think this is very offensive to just about anyone. Oh, it is so nice. So nice. Okay, moving on. Next we have a very Peri pumpkin, also known as Lord Voldemort's cousin. Sweet nashi pear, freshly picked pumpkin, tart green apple, and toasted spices are carried on a breeze of crisp autumn air. Okay, well, first off, I don't know what the spices they're talking about are because they don't exist. Yeah, there's no spice in this. I don't get spices. They're crazy. What I do get is a whole lot of pumpkin filling. Like, you just made fresh pumpkin filling out of a pumpkin. What else are you going to make pumpkin filling out of? And it's unsweetened, unsalted, not mixed in with a bunch of cream to make a pumpkin pie. It's just like straight up pumpkin filling. And then a whole lot of pear and apple. Yeah. Yeah, and it's almost overwhelming. And it is normally I love pear scents. I love apple scents. I sometimes like pumpkin scents. I can't do this. On cold, it smells strong. On cold, it doesn't seem too terrible either. Like Perfect Pumpkin Pear. Like, I wasn't particularly fond of that one either. I guess pear and pumpkin scent mixtures for me are just not a vibe. This, to me, was out of the entire collection, all 25 bars. This was the only one that after I started smelling it in the room, I had to remove it from my warmer. Only one. This is the only one I will also not warm the rest of this bar for. I might warm a cube again just to double check and confirm my suspicions. Only one. Only one I could not do for the life of me. Some of the other ones, like the cloying berry ones, like weren't my favorite, but they were livable. This one, I was like, nope, nope, nope. Even French toast was like doable in that dosage. Like, I could tolerate it. It wasn't like I was enjoying it, but I could like tolerate it. I was like, oh my gosh, well, it sucks, but you know, it's not the worst thing ever. This one, I had to remove. Had to just straight up be like, nope, can't do this. So, it's strong. Let me start by that. It's a scent monster. If you love this scent, please buy all of the bars of this and don't vote it back. Just put it in your club, make 17 clubs. Just don't bring this back. This is a lot. this is a scent that would make me want to, like, lose my lunch in an inappropriate way. Don't warm that if I ever come over and visit. Let's put it that way. And that's that one. So our last one is Zeppelin. Let's land on like a higher note. This is for those who dare to take to the sky. Elegantly balanced citrus and sage soar over something. Oh, of course I cut it off. Of course I did. Zeppelin Scentsy. Try this again. Ha! There we go. Get the full description for you guys. You're like, what are you talking about? Take to the sky. The composed of notes of refreshing citrus, green sage, herbaceous vetiver, and earthy sandalwood to create an experience that will take you to new heights. All right, so this is the cologne scent that I enjoy. Now, this is a medium, maybe a medium soft performer. It is not a forerunner scent. This is more of a background scent. Like, you'll know it's there, but it's not going to smack you in the face left and right and silly. And it does last. So there's that. It is more on the earthy, like you get the vetiver, sandalwood, little bit of the sage blend. And I feel like the sage in there is not enough to make me not like the scent. I'm not a huge sage person, but there's enough sage in here that you can smell it without it being the main player. It's balanced well into this scent. I think this is quite a nice earthy, woodsy sort of cologne scent, and then you get a little bit of citrus to kind of like even it out, so it's not just woods. This smells like a little more like refined aftershave, cologne. Maybe not like super fresh and sporty, but this is not necessarily dark and mysterious like Hubba Hubba. Somewhere in the middle, like a really nice, clean cut, masculine scent. And I really, really enjoy it. This is like if you mellowed out like the combinations of like Simply Irresistible or Route 66 or Rustic Lodge, all these ones that are like a little bit too in your face and just kind of mellowed out. This is almost more of like the Sven scent where it's like sage and woods. This is more of like the cologne and woodsy sage. So it's like if Sven was a dapper, sophisticated, attractive gentleman instead of a reindeer, and lived in the real world and not like Elsa's land, whatever it's called. That's kind of what I imagine this scent would be. So instead of like forest-dwelling creature, this is like, I don't know, Dorian Gray, or whatever the 50 Shades of Grey dude is called. I don't know what his name is. Maybe his name is Grey too. I've never seen it, never read it, don't have any intention to. But, you know, or maybe this is what that Twilight sparkly vampire dude wears. Like, I don't remember his name either. But if, you know, like, there's an air of like mystery, but it's like a more refined, palatable cologne. I'm gonna stop babbling about this. I like it. It's probably gonna go in my club. Long story short. All right, and there you have it. In this lovely little hour, we have covered the cold and then my warm sniff impressions. I will continue to warm these bars over the course of the month. You will probably see me prattle on about them at bigger lengths in future fragrance feedbacks. But in the meantime, at least I wanted to give you a smattering of what to expect both on cold and warm from my opinion. And remember, everyone's sniffer is different. Like I went and had a couple customers preview some of these and smell them. And they, like, some of them had completely opposite opinions from me on a couple scents or more. Things that I loved, they hated, or vice versa. You know, it's just like every nose is different, and that's the beauty of it all. This one hopefully at least gives you an idea from my perspective and my thoughts. Overall, with this Bring Back My Bar, I wasn't thoroughly, like, wowed by, like, the entire collection, but there are a few gems in my opinion. And that's certainly great for my Scentsy Club so that it doesn't snowball any bigger. But hopefully this video was helpful and informative. If you are new here, consider subscribing. And if you are a returning viewer, thanks for showing up again. And hope you have a wonderful weekend. And I will talk to you later. Bye, guys.